Well, for those carrying over with us, we welcome you back to Major Timothy Curry Field at Paul VI High School. We've got a good one for the fourth of 4 games in the WJYFL Youth Championships here from PVI. It's been a good game. It's been a good series so far. We've had 3 games. All 3 have been shutouts. Belmar won the first 2 games, 35-0 over Northern Burlington and 18-0 over Lawrence. But then Lawrence turned the tables on them. They won 20-0 in the 3rd game of the day, and now we've got our 4th. It's the nightcap. It's the number 2 seed Hopewell Valley Bulldogs and the number 1 seed Belmar Purple Eagles. Again, I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Ben Wilden on the production today, as we're going to have a long weekend ahead of us. We're off Sunday, we're off Monday, and then we come back with JUCO basketball on Tuesday before we go down to Clayton for the 100th annual Pittman-Clayton Thanksgiving game. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back when these 2 teams are lined up for kickoffs as the coin toss is underway here from Paul VI. So it looks like Belmar is going to kick this one away. Hopewell Valley to receive. We've had some great games today. Best one, I think, was Lawrence over Belmar, 20-0. But Belmar, just like Lawrence in the game before, hasn't allowed a single point. 24-0. The fact that we can have 2 teams in the same league that didn't allow a single point, it's almost amazing. And maybe it's a good thing that Hopewell's getting the ball first. This one is bobbled. Returned by number 4. And he'll get wrapped up. No question. Not going to have a prayer that time, as the Bulldogs will come out on offense for the first time after the return by Isaac Harrigan. This Hopewell and Belmar game is a rematch from last year, right here from Paul VI High School. Belmar won that game 8-0. There was a quick score in the first quarter, and then it was radio silence from there on out. And even that was a close one. It looked like the QB's knee was down at the half-yard line. Maybe they would have scored anyway, but it was a low-scoring affair. But considering that Belmar has scored 224 unanswered points, I don't know. Maybe today will be a different day than last year. Handoff, right side in the 14U nightcap. Looks like the rush, it's hard. I apologize in advance. It's going to be really difficult to tell with the white jerseys and yellow numbers. It looked like number 22 was on the carry, Kyle Dauber. Don't forget, Dan Wilkins Broadcasting announces our 46-game boys basketball high school schedule on December the 1st. 46 games in 9 counties. It's going to be one of our most expansive high school basketball schedules yet. And I don't know if I don't think Hopewell Valley has a game on our schedule, but I'm sure the surrounding schools for Belmar, Audubon, Haddon Township, Haddon Heights, PVI, Camden Catholic, whatever may have you, they will be well represented on DWB in the wintertime. After a gain of 6, the handoff over to the right side. Another rush by Dauber, sliding forward. Belmar with an aggressive tackle that time by number 5, Jaden Thomas. And honestly, that tackle by Thomas does not surprise me. He's the kid that when Belmar sprinted out onto the field, he did a backflip before the game even started, Cam Scatabo style. But he's got now 3rd and 3. First down marker is at the 34. This ball is lined up on the right hash at the 31. Again, the crowd kind of pulsating in and out. We had a bit of an empty crowd. Not an empty crowd, but it was a little bit lighter in the second game than it was for the first. We've been here since 8:30 this morning, so it's almost like a full work day. But That's what it is. This is work and this is business. Trips right. They pass, and he's way out of town on that one. Not a lot of wind to aid him, but just a deep pass that didn't go. Intended receiver number 24, Shane Eelman. And Hopewell Valley is going to go 3 and out. And remember, as it appears, 14U, no punt option. Just keep on going. Oh, they will punt option. I apologize for coming off as harsh, but why do we have a punt option in 14U? I mean, I don't understand that. We had it in the 12U. That's just my personal opinion, but special teams is so important that if you don't get the chance to practice it, what does that make for the high school kids? You know, does that, especially because both of these programs represent relatively small schools. Belmar, a lot of those kids are going to go to Group 1s and Group 2s. Hopewell Valley in the Colonial Valley Conference is a Group 2, or check that in the WJYFL. They should be punting the ball. They should be allowed to do that. Santor with a pass on the left side, caught by Jaden Thomas. Thomas is going to barrel his way forward, but a slew of Bulldogs keep him on his feet. Final tackle was made by number 10, Luke Brenag. And it'll be 2nd and 4. They got a gain of 6 on the play at the 40. Of course, Roman Santor, a name that I've called many a times, whether it was the Audubon Little League or whether it was even in the Belmar Purple Eagles reign. He was the quarterback last year. And a 6-yard completion on his first play of the day. Santor hands it off. It's a delayed handoff, and he's got space. Out at the near sideline, number 1, Isaiah Evans on the carry. He'll get up to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and it's a first down for the Purple Eagles. Nope, never mind. We got a hold coming back. Referee signaled a hold on the offense. Somebody on the right side of the bleachers leading a Let's Go Belmar chant in his Letterman's jacket. Second and long. They would have had a first down with Evans, but instead gets called back for a hold. It'll be 2nd and long from the 47. High snap. Santor rolling out to the right side. He's got some space to run if he wants to go. He fires off a pass 10 yards shy of the first, and he goes out of bounds. Pass complete. Actually, they stayed in bounds. It looked like that was Evans who finished off the completion there. But it'll now be 3rd and 10, which if you're Roman Santor, it certainly is plausible. Certainly plausible that you could have a completion for 10 yards, but in the 14U game, this is going to be the longest game of the day. I'm so grateful that we started all 4 of these games on time. They've done an excellent job. The WJYFL has done an excellent job with streamlining the processes. That's a forward shovel. They're going to get a first down out of this if there's no flags. He's going to get up 15, 16 yards, shoveled out. Jaden Evans on the carry. So we're going to have to differentiate between the two Evans, Isaiah and Jaden. It's enough to move the sticks. We mentioned 3rd and 10, certainly not a hill too steep for Belmar. And they'll move this one up for a first down. Ball spotted on the left hash at the 30. Making a quick change, they subbed off Kyler Van Camp. Couple of PVI players down on the sideline. They've been volunteering at the snack stand today. Their season ended with a loss to Red Bank Catholic 2 weeks ago. And, of course, the state semifinals were last night and today. South Jersey's going to have a chance to go 5 for 5 in the state finals over at a combination of Rutgers and MetLife Stadium. Group 1, Glassboro will represent. Group 2 is Camden. Group 3 being Cedar Creek, their first state championship appearance. Group 4 being Winslow. They just won today over Brick Memorial, 14-12. And then Group 5, Washington Township in an instant thriller over Kingsway. Washington Township also advancing to their first ever state title. Rolling back, Santor with a fake. He passes it to Jaden Evans, and here he goes. Isaiah Evans inside. Couple of Bulldogs trying to get him down, diving forward towards the pylon. He is short by a yard. It's still an incredible effort for a gain of 30 yards, 29 if you're lucky, or I guess 29 if you're unlucky. As a huge gain, a monumental gain by the wideout Isaiah Evans. At the 1 yard line. Trying to get in. They're not going to have any problem. Or maybe they do. Thought he got into the end zone there, but Hopewell Valley emerges strong on the goal line defense. I mean, they are toppled right on top of the 1. Of course, Belmar at the 12U level went undefeated in back-to-back years, 2023 and 2024. So Lawrence getting a chance to upset the Purple Eagles, although is it really an upset if you didn't allow a single point all year? Let's see if the trend continues with the Purple Eagles. 224-0, and now this is 6-0. Touchdown Belmar. 1 yard rush by number 1, Isaiah Evans. So Evans got them to the goal line, and now he finishes with his goal line rush. A 1 yard score, and with 3:15 to play in the first quarter, they'll go for the 2-point kick. We've seen a couple of them be successful. Can't tell who's out there. That's number 39. That's Liam Ostrom. Can't tell who's the holder. High snap. Oh, he's not going to get that one down, but it is going to get through anyway. How about that? I did not think that he was going to get that one down at all, but Ostrom bangs it through. It's the Purple Eagles 8 and the Hopewell Valley Bulldogs 0. 3:15 left in the first. Go ahead. Here from Paul Six High School, a couple of Audubon football players making the trek down. They have their Thanksgiving rivalry on Wednesday versus Haddon Township. That game to be radio broadcast on 94.1 WIP. Best of luck to those two teams, including my alma mater. Left side, the return by Harrigan will get himself up to the 40 as a strong return by the Bulldogs sets them up for their second drive.
Just outside 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
So with Hopewell Valley taking over for their second drive on offense, the nightcap of the evening, let's talk about the 3 games before it. First game was Belmar 35 over Northern Burlington in the 85-pound, or check that, 90-pound division. They reclass the weight sometimes. Sometimes it's 85, sometimes it's 90. I remember it used to be 100 and then 125. I remember it used to be 145, and now it's 160. So even though it's more or less age brackets, it does, at the end of the day, come down to the weight. They fake the jet sweep, and diving forward as the Bulldogs, not going to get too much on that one. Number 4, Derek Gray on the tackle. Belmar more or less wearing the same lids, tops, and shorts that they have all day. The camo gray jerseys, the purple helmets with the number on the side, and then the purple purple pants. Although some players are wearing them as if they're shorts. 8-0 Belmar. They scored on a 1-yard rush by Isaiah Evans. And a 2-yard gain now by Hopewell to start their second drive. They send another man, Harrigan, in motion. They hand it off. Check that. That's number 2. Sam Watson, he's going to get ripped back and brought down to earth. He's right back where he started. It'll be 3rd down, and actually forward progress is going to be kind to the Bulldogs. They're going to put this one at the 44. It'll be a gain of 2. Always difficult, especially when you haven't been calling the game for 30 years. You know, I've only been calling football games for about 5 years at this point. So I am not the best expert when it comes to forward progress, but in that situation, I don't think it was all that egregious. I think it was just, I mean, if you want to be a Debbie Downer about it, maybe you say that it was a half yard too generous, but even then, still limits the gain for Hopewell Valley to 2 yards after a strong stop by Belmar. Ooh, that nose tackle almost went over the line, and he's going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage. So Hopewell Valley not really having much of an option here. And Hopewell Valley will go for the punt option. Their second of the day. And Belmar is going to get another chance. Again, punt option moves everybody back 25 yards.
Late in the first quarter.
So it's a good thing we got that clarification on the punt option. I thought that they were just shaving off some time on the clock to simulate a real punt, but what it really is that when the referee picks up the ball, the clock runs, and then when it gets spotted or when they reach their destination of 25 yards, then it stops. So it does shave off the time, but not really for that reason that I had mentioned earlier. 1 minute exactly in the first quarter. Here from Paul Six High School, Timothy Curry Field. Oh, he shoveled the ball forward. That should be intentional grounding, I think. That's close, unless the ball got stripped out, which I don't think it did. I think that was a panic move there. Hopewell Valley came in fast. No intentional grounding will be called. They're going to call this an incomplete pass. I guess because it got back to the line of scrimmage. That's a tough one. They're walking this up now. Are they just... What do we got going on here?
Well, looks like that flag's going against Hopewell.
There was a flag down.
SUV in this back parking lot here with the alarm going off. If you own the car, you park.
So we have a penalty against Hopewell. At the end of the quarter, I'm going to have to figure out what that was all about because I didn't see anything. First and 10. Handoff right side for number 5, Jaden Thomas. Hopewell with a stop. And 45 seconds and counting in the first. So even though Belmar didn't allow any points in the regular season, they've allowed 6 in the playoffs. 34-6 over Haddon Township in the first round. 28-0 over Oak Lynn. Hopewell's path to the playoff was a little bit of a path of least resistance, if you will. 20-0 over Florence and a low-scoring affair. 12-6 over Northern Burlington. 12 seconds remaining. They'll have time for one more, but not much else. They send a man in motion. Another shovel forward. That will count as a pass. Rolling through and emerging from the pile is number 3, Jaden Evans. And we're going to have a hold against Belmar. So at the end of the first quarter, it's Belmar 8, Hopewell Valley 0, but on that last play, a holding foul was called. We'll be right back after this. Yeah, let's go. Welcome back to Paul 6 High School Major Timothy Curry Field. They'll switch sides as we start the second quarter.
It is owned by John Perozzi's in the house. One of our legends in his own mind right there, John Perozzi. Perozzi's best friend. But he never mixed that in public.
The schedule coming up for Dan Wilkins Broadcasting on Tuesday, we've got JUCO basketball between the Thaddeus Stevens Bulldogs and the RCSJ Gloucester Roadrunners. 6 p.m. from the Roadrunner Gym in Deptford. That's our last JUCO basketball game of the month until December the 6th as a pass caught. Number 21, Jordan Dalton Jr., as he'll get up to the 50-yard line. After the holding call against Belmar, they've got a lot of work to do, but they make up a lot of ground. They make it second and about 20. Second and 17 maybe. And then after that, we've got Thanksgiving Day football. It might be one of the most consequential or impactful Thanksgiving games in Gloucester County history. It's the 100th annual Pittman-Clayton matchup. It's going to be from Haupt Field. The kickoff is at 10:30. Pre-game ceremonies start at 10:10. So we will be on the air at that time. Second and long. Man deep on the sideline. Here comes Santor. Hit as he throws. He's got it. Downfield into the end zone. Touchdown, Belmar. Jaden Evans combines with his brother Isaiah Evans, converting on another score. And the Eagles lead by 2 scores. With 9:08 left in the second quarter, Belmar making their stamp on this game, known early. As with 9:08, it was a 50-yard pass. It's the first passing touchdown of the games of this entire championship weekend. So again, it'll be Ostrom the kick. That looks like it's number 8, Jake Hoban, to hold. High snap. And Hopewell Valley blocks it. So the PAT is no good. And after the score, it's Belmar 14, Hopewell Valley 0 right after this. All right, go ahead. Belmar to kick this one off. After the kickoff, we'll look at the replay of that 50-yard touchdown pass to Jaden Evans. So both Evans brothers, I assume they're brothers, have picked up touchdowns today. Getting a deep run up. This is going to be kicked out to the 25. Hopewell hands off the kick, and look at this. He's got room. The return by the Bulldogs. They handed off the kick mid-play, and he's wrestled to the ground by Jaden Evans. A fantastic return by the Bulldogs. And by number 4, that's Isaac Harrigan. I can't say I've seen that one in a long time, where Hopewell Valley, almost like they were running a play on offense, and they get this one up to the 25. Let's take a look at that replay real quick. Of this 50, not of the kickoff, but of the 50-yard touchdown pass. This one from Roman Santor to number 3, Jaden Evans. Look at how far his D-backs were, just 5 yards or more behind him. And now Belmar will line up on defense at the 28-yard line after a fantastic return by the Bulldogs of Hopewell Valley. Again, if you're just joining us, or if you've been joining us all day and I haven't introduced myself, I'm Dan Wilkins. I'm joined by Ben Wilden on the production. Big thanks to Javier Harris, who joined us for the first 2 games today. Hopewell Valley under center, handoff, spinning around. Not going to get too much out of that one as Belmar wraps him up and takes him down. Tackled by number 15, Brandon Calhoun. And it'll be a loss of about 2. Let's see where they put them. They'll put them right at the 30. Considering we do have a very light schedule on Thanksgiving week, why don't we give you next week's schedule as well? We only have 3 games, the first of which is our first ice hockey game of the year, as we travel down to the Hollydale Ice Arena in Sewell for a matchup between the Princeton Day Tigers and the Gloucester Catholic Rams. That will be a 3:05 puck drop. Again, if you haven't heard, we will be covering all home games for Gloucester Catholic ice hockey this year, all 10 of them, including some premier programs like St. Peter's Prep, Don Bosco Prep, and Bergen Catholic. It'll be their first times appearing on DWB, we'll tell you that much. But if you want to look at their schedule, we do have it up on our Instagram at DW Broadcasting. It's going to be a very fun ice hockey season for us this year. Pass from the southpaw gets flung out to the right, as the pass attempted by number 23, as we mentioned, the southpaw being, if they numbered this roster, it would be a little bit different. But it's an incomplete pass. Bernie Hoffman, number 23. I keep telling people, I'm like, listen, with all due respect, it is a million times more useful to a commentator to number your rosters than to sort it alphabetically. Doesn't help me at all. It's nothing against them personally. I'm just saying, from a business-to-business standpoint, please put your rosters in numerical order. Makes it a whole lot easier for us broadcasters. We've got whistles, and it's going to be a false start against the Bulldogs. So this drive not really helping them in any way, shape, or form right now. Going to knock them back an additional 5 yards. With Belmar already up 2 scores, they'll continue to run the clock. 3rd and 17. Hopewell Valley's first down marker is at their 18 in the red zone. But they've got to work a long way to get there. Long ways to go. 3 receivers stacked on top of each other. Throw, tipped and incomplete. Intended for number 24, Shane Eelman. And Hoffman's pass comes up empty. So 4th and long, and again, with Hopewell Valley being in opposite territory, they really don't have much of a choice here. You really just have to, I would say, don't be afraid to pass. The rushing game really is more of a question mark right now. We haven't seen too much of it. Both of these teams seeming like they're going to be pass-heavy offenses. But with that being said, you know, it's how much weight do you want to put in that? Is it going to be a situation where Hopewell Valley and Belmar are going to be in a shootout all night, where we're going to see, you know, pass, run, pass, or even pass, pass, pass in a three-play possession? 4th and 16, we've had 2 long incompletions from the lefty, Bernie Hoffman. He drops back, fires a pass to the right, tipped him up out of the hands of number 13, Ethan Ferguson. And Belmar is going to get a turnover on downs here with 7 minutes in the half. That was a very promising drive for Hopewell Valley, and I was thinking that they might have the best chance that they've had yet to score. It was only a 2-minute and 5-second drive, but Hopewell Valley put themselves in phenomenal position. We talked about it with Northern Burlington in the 90-pound game from what feels like eons ago, but it was just earlier this morning. During that game, Northern Burlington, even though they got shut out, they put themselves in phenomenal positions. They got great returns. They took advantage of penalties, but there's only so far you can go with that, and they did not get into the end zone. Handoff. Over the middle. Belmar, look out, keep him on his feet. Don't get him a flag. He was right behind the ref, so he would have heard that whistle a million miles away. Christian Helmrich with the tackle on the rusher, Isaiah Evans. And we got confirmation Isaiah Evans and Jaden Evans are twins. Like we said, though, a very light schedule after Thanksgiving week. We mentioned we have Gloucester Catholic Ice Hockey on December the 2nd versus Princeton Day. We actually have a whole bunch of Gloucester Catholic Ice Hockey games in December. A handful of them are in January, but the bulk of them are in December. Princeton Day on the 2nd. Back-to-back with St. Peter's and Bergen Catholic on the 10th and 11th. Don Bosco on the 17th. And then we have a game after the new year, January 2nd, versus the Hun School of Princeton. Rush for 5 yards by the Purple Eagles. Another carry by Isaiah Evans. Seems like these Evans twins are going to be carrying the bulk of the workload tonight for the Golden Eagles. I'm sorry, the Purple Eagles. Thinking of Seneca there. Third and 6. Belmar got a gain of 4 on the play. Line to gain is at the 45. Ball is spotted on the right hash at the 39. Belmar lining up, one receiver deep on the left, 2 high safeties. Oh, movement. No whistles. They say they're good. Belmar disagrees, and Belmar is going to call a timeout. Their first of the half. With 5:27 left in quarter number 2, we'll take a quick break. It's the Purple Eagles 14 and the Bulldogs 0. All right, go ahead. Timeout call by the Purple Eagles. Now a line drive pass coming out of the break. It's caught. It's going to be a first down as Jaden Evans carrying a man on his back with, slithering all the way down to the 50-yard line. It's a gain of 10. And already being mid-range, 5 yards to the first down. They'll get the first down right here. They'll be actually past the 50. They'll be at the 49. There's your hype man for Belmar. You can see the camera shaking because everybody's shaking the bleachers. Don't make me scared up here, people. Deep pitch. Right side. Belmar's got some space. Got a lot of blockers, and now he's up to the 30. Now he breaks away. Here comes another score. Good things come in threes. Touchdown, Belmar. Number 5, Jaden Thomas. Picks up a 49-yard rush. Belmar's blockers picking up an extra paycheck. And it's 20-0. So a 50-yard pass to Jaden Evans, a 49-yard rushing TD to Thomas. Just 5 minutes apart. And it's now 19-0. They'll go for the 2-point kick, and it's good. Purple Eagles lead this one 21-0. They've gone up 3 scores. They're actually going to, I'm sorry, it was because they made the first one. So that is now 22-0. Belmar goes up by 3 scores and then some. We'll be right back. All right, go ahead. Belmar 22, Hopewell Valley 0. 3 scores in this first half. A line drive kick by Ostrom is going to bounce a few times on this very active PVI turf. And Hopewell Valley is going to get wrapped up. They are down at the 30. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. I mention them because, first of all, they're a longtime sponsor of ours, but also these kids are 14 years old. They're maybe only a year or two removed from getting their permits. So go to Harper Driving School, South Jersey's premier driving school, with over 90% of students completing their driving test on the first attempt with Harper. Book an appointment today in front of one of the most experienced instructors in South Jersey driving. With over 23 years of experience, over 10,000 students passed. Visit 614 Lambs Road in Pittman at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex. We'll be filming a new commercial for them on Monday, so you'll be able to see it on Thanksgiving Day. Right side. Hopewell Valley's got some space. Over to the right side on the first play from scrimmage. He hesitates, and that might have been his flaw. Hopewell Valley got a huge gain, but they learn too much from the pros. You don't want to let up there. Hopewell Valley does get to reap their rewards. But the way that I see it, I don't know. Again, at this level, we see it at the 8Us, we see it at the 10Us, 12Us, whatever. You cannot stop running. Because all the pro quarterbacks and all the pro running backs can juke move and spin move doesn't mean that you can or doesn't mean that you should do it. These players just need to learn to start barreling into people and get as many yards as you physically can instead of trying to keep everybody in check. Belmar calls a timeout. They have 2 remaining in the half. We have 3:52 to play in the second. It's the Purple Eagles up big here before the halftime break. 22 for Belmar, 0 for Hopewell Valley. All right, go ahead. Belmar up 3 scores. They're now backtracked on defense. They gave up a huge rush after somewhat of an antiquated kickoff return. They now bring it to Hoffman, who keeps it himself. He'll get down at the 23. Second and 8. Another handoff, right side. So it'll be 3rd and 4. Again, if you're just joining us, it is 22-0 in favor of Belmar. They scored very quickly in the first quarter with a 1-yard touch. I wouldn't say it's that quickly. It took them 7 minutes and a 4-minute first drive to score, but it was a 1-yard rush by Isaiah Evans. And then the next 2 have been big explosive plays for 50-plus yards. Look out. Hopewell Valley is going to get wrapped up, and they keep them on their feet to keep the peace. And it'll be 4th down. Crowd starting to kind of wiggle a little bit. It was a little bit fuller for the 125 game, but I think Belmar having a huge lead also helps. And now the Bulldogs call a timeout. They have 2:22 to play, or actually, no, it's 2:19 to play, rather. And it's Belmar up by 22. We'll stay here as Hopewell now has 2 remaining. Both teams have 2 on the board here from Paul Sixth High School. If you're a small business owner who would like to advertise with Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, send us an email at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. That email is in the description of this YouTube video. And, well, the commercials you'll see at halftime are all filmed, edited, recorded, and produced by our wonderful crew. All funds go towards my college expenses or our crew's college, and, of course, as well, equipment and travel costs. It is not a cheap business to run Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, and if you'd like to make a contribution at any time, we do have a Venmo at DW Broadcasting. But, of course, no matter whether you contribute or not, it is always going to be free to watch on YouTube in front of a great audience tonight. We've had over 3,500 views on these first 3 games of the day. We'll have to add up those numbers for game number 4. And on 4th down, you can see that frustration looming with Hopewell. They just couldn't get it across as Belmar's defense stands strong. There's a reason why they've only allowed 6 points in 10 weeks. And in week 11 of their season, they get a turnover on downs. They'll start over with 2:09 left in the second from their own 20. Second turnover on downs for Hopewell. They're 0 for 4 on these drives. 2 punts in the first, 2 turnovers on downs in the second. Belmar sending a man in motion. It's Jaden Thomas. Now it is Santor who dumps off a pass. It's complete. Isaiah Evans has room. He's got a first down and then some. Breaks a couple more tackles. How far can this kid run? Get him a tank of oxygen. He's in the end zone. 80 yards, Isaiah Evans. How about that? Putting this game already on the rocks with 2 minutes in the first half. It's a party for Belmar. They scored 8 points versus this team this time last year. They've put up 28 as Isaiah Evans marks the 3rd straight pass in this quarter to end in a score of 50-plus yards. His twin brother Jaden knocked it in from 50. Then Thomas brought it in from 51. And now an 80-yard score. That kick is up away and good. It's a 30-burger in the first half for the Purple Eagles. So even though they won't go 4 for 4 in championship rings, Purple Eagles at halftime might be confident about putting at least 3 on their fingers. We'll be right back. All right, go ahead. Under 2 minutes to play in the second quarter, as it's Belmar 30, Hopewell Valley 0. Kind of a gut punch in this championship game for the Bulldogs, as they've been having some good kickoff returns, and there's another one up to the 45, up to the 41 rather. The return by number 4, Isaac Harrigan.
Your name is Jackson Kenny. Your parents are looking for you. And forget what you look like. Jackson Kenny, please find one of your
Again, Hopewell Valley 0 for 4 on their offensive outputs. 2 punts and 2 turnovers on downs. First and 10 for the Bulldogs. They start this drive from the 41. Again, after a strong kickoff return, Harrigan had another one that went all the way up to the 30. It was a fantastic return by the Bulldogs. And again, just putting in those silver linings as a rush gets up to the 42. Scrambling everybody away. That'll be a gain of 1.
Bring up second down and 8.
Second and 8, 2-yard gain on the last rush. They're up to the 43. They're right in between the 43 and 44. Under a minute to play, 55 seconds and counting. QB drops back. Bernie Goodman throws, tipped up and picked. Can of corn right up in the air on top of the Eagle logo. And Belmar comes up with a pick, number 17. Chase Finelli comes down with it. It's the 3rd turnover this quarter against the Bulldogs. That one was just an unfortunate tip. The pass by Bernie Hoffman, it looked good. We'll take a look at that one again. Just thought he would have had a little bit more out of that one, but you just feel bad. But it's funny, in 3 of the 4 games we've seen today, including the 8U, we've had an interception. Belmar even had a pick 6 in the 8U game. Really just phenomenal stuff. As it's 1st and 10, Belmar, which will receive the ball to start the second half. Wouldn't be surprised if they keep it light, but they do not. Santor wants another deep ball. Pass incomplete. Intended on the far sideline for Jaden Thomas. 39 seconds to play. They'll probably get a couple more passes off, although I would say just rush it. Come back and take another bite in the second half. I mean, it's already a 30-point game. People staying tonight are going to be the ones that got to drive these kids home and carry their rings with them. Pitched back. It's deep. Are they going to try a flea flicker up by 30 points? No, they fake it. And Evans is going to get rolled to the ground. Went out of bounds at the 24. Or excuse me, at the 40 with 24 to play. Evans just kind of got dragged by his foot that time, by his ankle. It'll be a gain of 8. So that was kind of a fake flea flicker. They pitched it back. He looked like he wanted to throw. If you want my personal opinion, I'm not the biggest fan of a flea flicker up by 30, so I'm glad that they kind of stayed a little bit grounded that time. But we do have a penalty flag against the Purple Eagles. I think that was a hold that time. And now a timeout called by Belmar. Everybody was a little bit confused that time. As we've got 24 seconds left in the first half, we'll be right back after this. Oh. 24 seconds left in the first half. Belmar up by 30. They've had 3 plays in this second half that have resulted in 50 yards or more for a touchdown. Thomas gets wrestled to the ground at the 42. That'll will you enough for a first down. And Belmar is going to line this one up quickly. They should have at least one timeout left, from my knowledge. But they get the ball back to start the second half, and they're up by 30 points. Belmar and coaches not taking any chances, and they spike it with 1 second left. I can't say I've seen this one. I thought they had a timeout unless they – how many did we have on this board? Did we have one left? Yeah. So unless they changed it for that level and 14 U's only get 3 and everybody else gets 4. But an interesting phenomenon nonetheless. One second to play. They do. Oh, hello. They faked it. Everybody stood still, and Hopewell read it not all that great. The rush was by number 21, Jordan Dalton Jr. 2 men moved one way, and everybody else was in a standstill, but we do have a penalty flag down before the half. Face mask on the defense. So I'm not sure where that flag or when that flag came in, but it comes down against the Bulldogs. So we will have an untimed down here. So could have a chance for Belmar to go up 38, but I mean they've gone 2 for 3, or check that, they've gone 3 for 4 on PATs, which have been 2-point kick attempts. So with the 15-yard penalty, are they just going to pull everybody off, or are they just going to talk it over? I think that's what they're just going to do. They're going to have one quick discussion. Okay, so we did get the clarification that 14U only gets 3. So my apologies on that. We try to ask as many questions as we can, but we can only go so far. So we appreciate the help. Just like the whole punt option thing. Somebody told me, some moons ago that it was only 8U and 10U that had punt option, but all levels of this league get punt option. Which, again, I've said it before, I'm not a huge fan of 14U getting punt option. Because some of these kids, if you're in 14U, you're allowed to forego your freshman year of high school to play youth football for one more year. That's why it's 14U. Sometimes freshmen are 14. And, I've seen some big 14-year-olds on the youth football side. As this one is passed, it's caught by Jaden Evans. Staying forward, staying on his feet. He's going to be 3 yards short, and on the untimed down, it was worth a shot. But Belmar will have plenty to talk about and plenty to be happy about in the halftime break, as this home crowd, this home team, and a lot of us quite confident about the ability of the Purple Eagles. They've got their hype man waving the flag at midfield. It's the Bulldogs 0 and the Purple Eagles 30. We'll be back in about 10 minutes.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is the responsibility of all of us to make sure that our friends, family, and anybody who we hold dear in our lives is feeling well.
The problem with spotting mental health issues is that the symptoms aren't that obvious. Just because someone is okay or appears okay on the outside doesn't mean that they're okay on the inside.
It's important that if they are in distress, that they call the right people and they get the help that they need.
And it is very important that we treat each other with respect, regardless of who you are or where you come from. But it is just as important that we treat ourselves with respect, regardless of the situation going on in our lives.
If you're in distress, you can call this number, 988, or you can visit any of these websites if you're not in distress, but would like to learn more information about mental health awareness and research.
Book Dog Pro Wrestling for your next event or outing for the greatest action that New Jersey Pro Wrestling has to offer. Any place, any time, any setting, Dog Pro Wrestling will bring the action to you, and you won't want to miss it for moments like this. But don't just take it from me. Take it from Max Mundo, the Dog Pro Wrestling ambassador.
This is Max Mundo with Dog Pro Wrestling. Are you a civic organization, sporting club looking to fundraise? Then look no further to Dog Pro Wrestling. We do grand openings, corporate events, and much more.
And why not from some of the wrestling talent themselves?
I'm Vinny the Fixer, and I'm the champion of dog professional wrestling. If you want to book the best, come see us. We're the cream of the crop. We'll come to any fundraiser you can think of. Just name the place, and we'll show up.
This is the upstanding Dylan Mesh, and for the entirety of my professional wrestling career, dog wrestling has been a mainstay for where I like to wrestle. So you can believe me when I say that it is quality. And I'm upstanding. I'm the only opinion you need.
Yeah! It's your boy Gabriel Hodder here with my man Matthew Oman, and if you want your events to be all fight, no flight,
then book Dog Wrestling so you can witness true primal fear.
Woo!
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Two minutes remaining. Will lead it off for the Senators. Chase Rollins, the player manager for CHP, gets it started with a ball upstairs, and we are underway in game one. 1-0. That one is hit well out towards left, and it is gone off the top of the goalpost. Shane Adamski with a thunderous start to his playoff series. Second pitch of the game, a solo homer to left, and before I could even write the first name down in my scorecard, it's 1-0. Excuse me, Goldberg is a shortstop tonight, but he had a .400 average in 2023 as a junior. A homer in each of his sophomore and junior campaigns, .331 career mark and a .430 career slugging percentage. And speaking of home runs, there's a fly ball to left, and it's gone! Devin Goldberg answers on opening day with a first pitch rocket to left, and it's 1-0 Bridgewater. We were just talking about the long ball, and he stomps on the plate, mobbed at home, and Goldberg, the leadoff man, with a swing of gold. It's 1-0. Ryan Nutley, who has 3 RBIs so far, is up on deck as here's a fly ball at the center field, going back to the wall. It is gone! 3-run home run, Steve Schaefer. He rockets one out, and it's 9-2. First home run for Schaefer this year, the second hit at home by a Scarlet Raptor. And Argabright with a full count. Outfielders in communication for the Quakers. Everyone's looking around in a tie game, bottom of the 6th. The 3-2 payoff. Ground ball. It's going to get over the head of Tolbert into left field. That's a base hit. 2-run score. Argabright delivers when asked. 5-3. Alex Argabright has given the Golden Eagles a 5-3 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. Belmar 30, Hopewell Valley 0. As much as the Purple Eagles would have loved a home field 4-for-4 sweep, it looks like 3-for-4 will be what they'll be able to do. We'll have a running clock to have the second half, as Belmar is already going to have a strong return here by Jaden Thomas. He's free. He's going to go all the way. No flags. Jaden Thomas into the end zone. Kickoff, return, touchdown. There's a player down for Hopewell, but it's a 70-yard return for Jaden Thomas, and it's 36-0. As before we even run a play from scrimmage, we've got points on the board. But now the clock will stop with 9:34 remaining because of the injury. So Belmar and Hopewell attending to that player. As they do, they're going to reorganize and get them in PAT formation. We almost had a kickoff return TD by Hopewell earlier, but there was no luck on that one. They're still attending to that Hopewell player. Again, coaches on both sides are huddled around the 35-yard line, so they now go into a knee. Looks like this might be an extended outage. So we'll take a break. 36-0 Belmar after the kickoff return touchdown by Jaden Thomas. Go ahead. A kick return touchdown by Jaden Thomas puts Belmar up 36 in this 14U 160-pound championship. Ostrom's going to go for a 2-point kick. It's up, away, and it is a beauty through the uprights, and it's now 38-0. Let's take a look at that replay. That kick return touchdown by Jaden Thomas, it starts so simply. He already got a decent return, and then you could just see he keeps getting block after block after block. And then that guy goes down. That was the player that got hurt. It looked like he hit hard on his backside, and then Thomas waltzes into the end zone for a 70-yard kick return touchdown. So now Belmar gets to kick it off to the Bulldogs. As we mentioned, though, I mean, this Belmar crowd has really never wavered all night. I mean, it's been... We got here, I know the sun has set. It's only 5 o'clock. It feels way later than it is because of that darn daylight savings time. The sun is completely set, and it's 5 p.m. That's not right. I mean, let's be real here. That should not be the way it is. But maybe I'm getting a little bit too off topic. But the point is, we've been here since 8:30 this morning, and Hopewell Valley is going to slide. They just tried to get a clean return. Not going to get it there. As they'll line up from the 30. Clock is running. So it's Belmar 38, Hopewell 0. And really, the interesting trend of the day, all 4 championship games, unless Hopewell scores in the second half, if this holds, all 4 championship games would be shutouts. Belmar beat Northern Burlington 35-0. They beat Lawrence 18-0. Lawrence beat Belmar 20-0 in the third game, and now it's 38-0 at the start of the second half. It's barreling through. Ball comes out, and Belmar's got it at the 40. They just keep piling it on. That drive only lasted about a minute. Let's introduce the rosters for both teams before we run out of time. For Hopewell, they are led by head coach Mike Rowan and assisted by Kelly Kreisky, Brett Trainer, and Gene Pietro. And then again, this roster is listed alphabetically, so the numbers are going to be a little bit out of order. Caden Arellano, number 12. Cam Belton, number 1. Ethan Bellotta, number 20. Orion Bordis, number 52. Carter Bowen, number 9. Luth Brenaig, number 10. Gavin Callahan, number 29. Kyle Dauber, number 22. Shane Eelman, number 24. And we've got whistles and let's see what we got here. Issue with the spot of the ball, it looks like, with Belmar at the 40. Ethan Ferguson, number 15. Max Franco, number 11. Michael Gervon, number 33. And James Gergich, number 86. Rush over to the left side, gets stopped at the line of scrimmage. After that, it's Sid Gupta, number 59. Hudson Hanley, number 17. Isaac Harrigan, the strong kick returner for Hopewell Valley, number 4. Christian Helmrich, number 11. Bernie Hoffman, the quarterback, number 23. Grayson Horoszewski, number 28. Dylan Horvath, number 6. Trent Jaeger, I'm not sure exactly, number 27. Liam Kenny, number 5. Jackson Mooney, number 81. Harrison Neeland, number 32. Grayson Pietro, number 15. We'll wait after this play. Man in motion, 2nd and 9 after a 1-yard gain. Santor takes it himself. He'll get wrestled to the ground by number 11. As we mentioned before, was Christian Helmrich, one of the leading tacklers on this Hopewell Valley team. After that, we have Josh Rostek, number 28. Brady Rowan, number 99. Billy Rowe, number 7. Will Sama, number 43. Connor Stubbs, number 21. Xavier Vera, number 25. Sam Watson, number 2. And Brendan Whitlock, number 3. We'll introduce the Belmar roster once this play is over or at the next change of possession. Santor with a tight formation under center. Hands it off. Left side. Spinning over, and he will get up to the 34. So well short of a first down. And Hopewell Valley will now have to make a stop on 4th down. 4th down and about 4 yards to go. Line to gain is at the 30. And again, with this running clock, you blink and you miss it. They've already wound it down to 6 minutes left in the 3rd. But still, Javier and I said in before we even started that if Belmar wins 2 out of 4 today, it was going to be very impressive. 3 out of 4 would be fantastic. 4 out of 4 would be immaculate. And they almost were there. They put up a very good fight versus Lawrence, but Lawrence, just like this 14U team, is a team that's going to just obliterate the competition. Shutout after shutout after shutout. Except the only difference is this is a carry by Evans. Gets spun around twice, 3 times, gets sent out of bounds. And Isaiah Evans brings it up to the 29. That will be enough for a Belmar first down to keep the chains moving. But regardless, though, what I was saying was, you know, Lawrence was the team that was truly the immaculate program because they didn't allow any points in the regular season. They didn't allow any points in the playoffs, and then they were able to stand on everything despite all of the personal fouls and all of the jibber-jabber that happened between those two teams in the 12U game. They were able to stand on top of that, and they were able to knock off the back-to-back 12U champions. And they were able to complete, quite literally, a perfect season. And Belmar, somewhat the same way. They scored more points than 12U Lawrence. They had 224 in the regular season. But they are not. Oh, hold on here. Left side. He'll take himself out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Rushed by Thomas would have had his 3rd of the day. But he holds up. And he goes out of bounds with 4 minutes to play in the 3rd. But Belmar did give up 6 points in their quarterfinal match versus Haddon Township. But again, how much can you value that? It was 34-6. Those 6 points don't really change much. So it doesn't really matter whether you give up 0 points or 6 points or 12 points. The fact that they gave up so few points is what's astounding. Whether it's a 0 or a 6 or even a 20. These teams are averaging, and I don't know, I mean, the viewers, you guys can be the judge of this. I don't know if these teams being so lopsided is a result of something in the league itself. But Belmar is going to get another score. Touchdown. Ran in by number 24, Vincent Freeman. And that will make it 44-0. It's one of those nights. We said that the third game of the day might be the most exciting, and some of you could argue that it was. 20-0. Belmar was in it until the very end. That drive took about 6 minutes off the board with the running clock. They will not go for the PAT, or excuse me, the 2-point. Said they'll go for one. It's the first time tonight they've gone for one, and that's commendable. They will get in there. So it's 45-0. And we'll stay right here. I think that's a commendable move by Belmar. I was a little bit skeptical of going for the 2-point on the first play on the kickoff return, but after that, I mean, you don't want to give the impression that you're running up the score. I don't think it's a good idea to run up the score in a championship game just because you already have the running clock. In the Super Bowl, if you were in the NFL, sure, run up the score as much as you want because that means that you are literally taking away the opportunity. But there's no running clock in the NFL. They don't get to 34 and Sean Hockley or Ed Hockley doesn't say, all right, well, let's just keep running the clock until we get to go home. That's not how it works. So in this case, because the running clock is there, you can kind of mathematically say that unless everything goes right for Hopewell, this game's going to be over, and Belmar will just have to wait. They can celebrate in their heads right now, but they'll have to wait until the clock hits triple zeros in the fourth quarter to truly celebrate the Purple Eagles. That kick goes forward. Belmar clashes, and they are going to get another kickoff recovery. That's their third of the game. As another great position with under a minute to play in the third. With Belmar already up 45. Looks like they'll wind this one down to the end of the third quarter. Belmar does have the ball spotted on the 30, but I don't think Belmar is in any hurry to run a play. Six seconds. Ref's just going to walk into the pile, and he's going to pick up the ball. At the end of the third quarter, it's Belmar 45 and Hopewell Valley 0, but the scoring may not be done. They've got 10 more minutes, and guess what? They just recovered a kickoff, so we'll be right back. It's the Purple Eagles 45, the Bulldogs 0. We're almost done anyway. Go ahead. 10 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Belmar did recover a kickoff by Hopewell Valley. It's the second time tonight that a kickoff has gone awry for Hopewell Valley. Handoff left side. That is Jaden Evans rolling through. Ball was spotted at the 30. I think he got about 4 yards trailing to his left. Let's read off the Belmar Purple Eagles roster while we're at it. We have a 00 and a 0. So 00, Giovanni Torres. Number 0, Dante Guri. Isaiah Evans, number 1. Roman Santor, number 2. Jaden Evans, number 3. Derek Gray, number 4. Jaden Thomas, number 5. Masood Holloman, number 6. Eric Para, number 7. Jake Hoban, number 8. Austin Gorchinski, number 10. Marcus Leach, number 11. Daheem Hamilton, number 12. Justin Reed, number 13. We'll wait until after this play. Rush over the middle. Can't tell who picked up that one, but it will be up to the 26-yard line. Actually past the 26. They're at the 24 now. Resuming, though, Jaden Myers, number 14. Brandon Calhoun, number 15. Jacob Ehert, number 16. Chase Finelli, number 17. Kyler Van Camp, number 20. Jordan Dalton Jr., number 21. Josiah Van Gwyn, number 23. Vincent Freeman, number 24. Jeremiah Custis, number 29. Tyler Severance, number 35. Liam Ostrom, number 39, the place kicker. Chase Naughton, number 55. Patrick Ferguson, number 56. Anthony Chiano Doherty, number 60. Mason Trout, number 62. Anthony Saletti, number 81. And then the last 3 will wait one more play on 3rd and short. Belmar gets it through, and they'll get this one up to the 15. The last 3 for Belmar's roster, Joseph Sognas, number 90, Michael Foyle, number 93, and Nick Stab, number 98. I mean, we've been covering youth football for 5 years, and I remember a lot of games that were like this. Maybe none on the championship stage. I do remember a handful of games that were well out of hand in the 2021 WJYFL championships at Gloucester. But most of the games last year were pretty competitive. This one was 8-0 Belmar last year. Here comes a handoff over the middle. Not getting all that quick on that one. They'll get up to the 15 here. He'll get up to about the 13. So already down to 7 minutes left. The biggest lopsided game that we've seen in terms of margin of points was a playoff game in the high school ranks between Burlington City and Woodbury in 2023. Woodbury would beat Burlington City by a score of 58-0. And that was a high school playoff game in Group 1. Burlington City had earned their seat at the table. And don't get me wrong, Hopewell Valley, 7-1. They have most certainly earned their seat at the table. But Belmar kind of showing who's boss in 14U, 160-pound division. As we mentioned, Belmar cruised their way to the finals, 34-6 over Haddon Township, 28-0 over Oak Lynn. And for Hopewell's journey, they beat Florence in a shutout, 20-0, and then Northern Burlington 12-6. And it's kind of funny how it worked out in the 160-pound conference bracket, because the 2 teams that Belmar had to play to get to the championship are all really local. Haddon Township and Oak Lynn within 5 minutes of each other. And then for Hopewell Valley, they also had to play local teams, Florence and Northern Burlington. So neither team really had to travel far until Hopewell had to travel down 295 to get to Paul Sixth High School today. Big hit in the backfield. Hopewell Valley, you heard a couple audible gasps from the crowd there on that hit. And it'll set up 4th and 5. Line to gain is at the 5-yard line. It's spotted at the 10. But we're almost done tonight. It's been a fantastic weekend. Thank you very much to Russell, the commissioner of the WJYFL, for having us out here now for the 3rd time. Russell was one of the first people to believe in me as a broadcaster and believe that I was able to do, a long haul of games like this. Like I said, when we covered this game in 2021, if you go back and watch the footage, I believe there's some Belmar games on there, my voice was like 2 octaves higher. And I was a sophomore in high school. The camera looks bad. The graphics look bad. I didn't have a working clock. It was a really bad broadcast. But Russell believed in me, saw my progress, and he signed us on for 2024 and brought us back for 2025 as well. So we really appreciate the support of the WJYFL, its fans, its players, and its teams. Touchdown, Belmar. Another one on the board, this time by number 25. No, we do not have a number 25 on that roster. That is number 29. My apologies as we get a closer zoom in there. Jeremiah Custis. A 10-yard rush makes it 51-0. Yeah, that number was a little bit squished, so my apologies there. They'll look to make this 52 zip. So 3 TDs in the fourth quarter, rather in the second half, all scored by 3 different Purple Eagles. As rolling through, he was somehow able to get in there, and it's now 52-0. Clock is going to continue to run. We'll stay here. Why not? Give you a nice little send-off to tonight. Let's recap today's action. 35-0 was the first game of the day. Oakland beat Northern Burlington in that game. It was a fun game. That first one was pretty fun. It got a little bit out of hand at the end, but it was 21-0 at the half, and it was scoreless after the first quarter. Belmar had 3 big touchdowns, including one of the rarest ones of them all, a pick 6. They had a 60-yard pick 6 by Jaquan Feliciano to make it 21-0 and to close off a very successful first half. And then Crawford and Horan scored in the third and fourth. In the Lawrence-Belmar first game, the 10U game, how about a start for Roundtree? He picked up a 51-yard rushing score on the first play from scrimmage. And then after a couple of punts and a lot of standoffs, it was 6-0 at half. Belmar added another, Roundtree scoring again, and then Hall finished the job with a 41-yard rush TD for an 18-0 final. The only team not named Belmar to win today was the Lawrence Cardinals. And honestly, if you're a Belmar fan and you're upset that they took 3 out of 4 instead of 4 out of 4, I can't tell you. I mean, Lawrence had a fantastic game versus Belmar, and Belmar held their own in that 12U game, was scoreless after the first quarter, and then Bryant Council was the player of the game there. This is going to get waved off. I think somebody was over the line. So I think we had a jump on the kickoff, which they'll back this one up 5 yards, and that takes away more time from Hopewell Valley, although they do stop the clock now with 2:23. But Bryant Council had 3 touchdowns of 3 different varieties. 4-yard rush in the second quarter, a 56-yard rush TD in the third, and then another 8-yard rush. As Belmar hyping up the crowd that has remained in this game, a game that hasn't been the most exciting even to the neutral observer. But Belmar wants everybody to know who runs the show, I guess, in 14U. They're going to have another fake handoff here, misdirecting the Belmar defense, spinning around. And he'll be down at the 41-yard line. Clock will continue to run. We'll be down to our last 2 minutes. But, yeah, Bryant Council scored all 3 touchdowns for Lawrence in that 20-zip win. And then in this game, we saw a 1-yard touchdown by Isaiah Evans, and after the first quarter, it was only 8-0. But in that game, in the second quarter, we saw 3 touchdowns. All 3 touchdowns in the second quarter were 50-plus yards. 50 to Jaden Evans, 49 to Jaden Thomas, 80 to Isaiah Evans. And then we didn't see too much in the third. We saw a lot of scores that took this game out of hand. It was 30-0 at the half. And then just another score. We saw a kickoff return touchdown by Jaden Thomas, made it 36-0. And then they added on a couple more, and then blink and you miss it. It's 52-0 in favor of the Belmar Purple Eagles, who won the first, second, and are a minute and 10 seconds away from winning their fourth, the third of the 4 games today. Handoff by Hopewell Valley. They are going to let this one be quite conservative here, as they'll let that one settle. They'll have time for another snap or 2, but I would imagine Hopewell Valley, I would imagine some of them understand the situation. 224 points. You would hope that your team did better, but I give props to Hopewell Valley. They never gave up. I didn't really see a lot of bad sign language, or bad body language, rather. As Belmar, they brought their drone over the top of the stadium. They're going to get some celebratory shots. But there's 30 seconds left. Handoff could be the last snap of the weekend. Right side. Trying to stay on his feet. He is on his feet. Hopewell's got a first down. He'll go out of bounds. And with 8 seconds left, they'll let this one go. The Belmar Purple Eagles have won the 14U championship, and they go 3 for 4 in a homebound weekend. Back to back. The Purple Eagles did it in nail-biting fashion last year. They do it in dominant fashion this year. Oh, wow, are they not shaking hands? Oh, no, okay, never mind. They were. I apologize. They were attending to a player that was down. I thought Hopewell Valley was walking away. I would have been upset by that, but they're getting everybody back together. The Belmar Purple Eagles, hugs all around. They won in the 90 pounds. They won in the 110 pounds. They couldn't get it done against an immaculate Lawrence team in the third game. But if you're the Belmar Purple Eagles, if you go home and watch these tapes tonight, 3 out of 4 is a darn good number. It's fantastic. It's impressive. Congratulations to the Belmar Purple Eagles. Thank you to the WJYFL for having us this weekend for a second straight year. And the celebration can begin in Belmar. Just a couple minutes away from home, they send the Bulldogs packing with a 52-0 final, a dominant win to close out not only their 2025 season, but our 2025 youth football season. Congratulations to all teams that won today. Again, Belmar in the 90-pound and 110-pound division, and then Lawrence in the 125-pound division, and then Belmar in the 160s. That'll be all for us tonight on DWB. From our entire crew, our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Carson Rosso. My producer, Ben Wilden. Also big thanks to Javier Harris for joining us earlier this afternoon for the first 2 games. I'm Dan Wilkins. We will see you on Tuesday for JUCO men's basketball between the Thaddeus Stevens Bulldogs and the RCSJ Gloucester Roadrunners. The Belmar Purple Eagles go 3 for 4 in a dominant day from Paul Six High School. Have a good one.